family asks me this all the time. They're like, how are you going to work in mainstream media if you say things that are, whatever, slightly inappropriate? We're known for headlines, which are sometimes slightly inappropriate. And to me, the reason I went to work at Grist when I graduated college anyway was that I looked around at things that my friends read. I'm 24. So I wanted to write for something that people who are 24 will read. And, my generation is much more engaged in things that they feel are, speaking to them and talking to them in their voice and their issues. And it's kind of the whole thing with online media is that people can self-select so much. And I feel like the fact that I can have more voice and more style and be a little bit more engaging brings in people who are my age, who are kind of the disaffected newspaper readers, who are probably not going to read an article about these issues in a more mainstream outlet. It's an interesting pressure to know what the metrics are. When I worked at magazines and I worked at a daily newspaper when I was younger too, and you didn't have those metrics. You didn't know if your headline got read or if your story, if people picked up the newspaper for your story or for the story next to it. Like, you didn't know. And there is definitely pressure to have the catchier headline or the more salacious piece. It's frustrating for me because a lot of our opinion pieces get a lot more clicks because people feel like they can jump in the competition more. And I'm the news reporter, so I don't get to have the strong opinion about things. And so a lot of times I don't get as many clicks. It's always sad. But I think it's just important to focus on giving that context and bringing up the appropriate issues. Yeah, definitely. We obviously are covering a very specific issue, so it's a little bit different than if you're just working at a general news site. But yeah, I'm the news reporter and try to maintain that level of objectivity. I think it's, we're kind of in that trend where people are looking for information that is, speaking to them and telling them, things that they need to know and how it affects their lives. And I think that's, obviously, that's what's going on in trends, and I think we're able to tap into that. And we're just, we're a young organization. Our CEO is in his 30s, so I think we have been able to kind of catch up, keep on the trends, and be able to, ride those. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year, and I guess Online News Association is also hitting their 10th anniversary next year. So it's kind of evident of being kind of on that wave and being able to tap into that, and then be able to get our information out to other sites as well. Don't lose faith, because I know a lot of people, when I graduated, first of all, figured they could never get a job in journalism, and so gave up and are doing other things. Which, they're all wonderful other things, but I just think that a lot of people give up too soon, and we're told that there's nothing out there for you. I think you're also told a lot that your only option is to go to some small town newspaper and cover field hockey for 5 years, and then you'll get the police beat, and then you might move up, and that's the only way that you're going to advance, is that you go to that, and then maybe you'll make it to the Washington Post one day. And that's really not true, especially now that we have all this online opportunity right now. You can go to a small web upstart and you can get a really good job covering the presidential campaigns. I've had that opportunity. And I was never told in class in college that, sure, you can go work at a young upstart web magazine and you'll get to cover all these amazing things that the big timers at the Washington Post get to cover. I was never told that, and I think that students should hear that there are lots of opportunities. A lot of them are online. Being online isn't some lesser form of journalism than magazines or newspapers. And that there are just a lot of new opportunities out there. I've worked for a lot of different nonprofit organizations, and just thinking about outside this traditional paper corporate model that you learn about, and seeing that there are opportunities out there and you can make opportunities yourself.